Morning, my friends. It is Sunday, July 7th, and for me it's 5 a.m. Just hit 5 a.m. I'm here. I'm here with my cat, the other black cat, or it might be the black cat. I don't know which one. Our friend Night Watcher's here and says he's got a great story idea. Awesome. Write it down so you don't forget it. What I do is I'll send myself a text. I'll write it down and send it as a text. That way I always have it in my phone. So, we are still reading in the Tao Te Ching. We're on verse 38. And that means, because there's 81 chapters in the Tao, that we are what? 43? 43 chapters from completion, although it doesn't really matter. The Tao is a study of a lifetime. I had mentioned before that the girlfriend's mother gave me a copy of Alan Watts' The Tao, A Watercourse Way. And that was, again, 1981, so I was 16 years old. And I've been studying throughout my life. And as you do so, every time you read it, every time you read the Tao Te Ching itself, every time you read interpretations of the Tao, as we're doing now, Wayne Dyer's Change Your Life, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, you get a deeper understanding, a deeper appreciation, to the point where you find yourself simply living it at those moments when you need it the most. So let's dive in. Verse 38, it's a little bit longer. A truly good man is not aware of his goodness, and is therefore good. A foolish man tries to be good, and is therefore not good. The master does nothing, yet he leaves nothing undone. The ordinary man is always doing things, yet many more are left to be done. The highest virtue is to act without a sense of self. The highest kindness is to give without condition. The highest justice is to see without preference. When the Tao is lost, there is goodness. When goodness is lost, there is morality. When morality is lost, there is ritual. Ritual is the husk of faith, the beginning of chaos. The great master follows his own nature, and not the trappings of life. It is said, he stays with the fruit and not the fluff. He stays with the firm and not the flimsy. He stays with the true and not the false. That's verse 38, and it seems a bit of a paradox, that the master does nothing, and yet he leaves nothing undone. That the ordinary man is always doing things, yet many more are left to be done. And then, most especially, when we see that the Tao is urging us, Lao Tzu is urging us, that when the Tao is lost, that we're losing the Tao, that there is goodness. When goodness is lost, there is morality. When morality is lost, there is ritual. And that ritual itself is the husk of true faith. Because what they're saying is, when we live in accordance to the Tao, which is everything, the natural expression of life itself, goodness is innate. It's not a concept, that we are living without concepts. We don't try to be good. We don't try to be kind. We don't try to be virtuous, because we don't have to try, which is why it says, the master does nothing, yet nothing is left undone. Because things just happen. Life just happens. And we see that every morning when we wake up. We don't have to try to be alive. We don't have to jumpstart our heart. We don't have to make the universe appear. We don't have to beg the sun to come up. Life's just happening. That's the Tao. And here's the good news. We're not separate from the Tao. We simply are. So when we try to be good, we're living by this sense of morality. which removes us. This is why the beginning of the Tao, it says, the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. The goodness that is not needed to be expressed through words or through rituals or through laws, for that matter. We don't need a law to tell us not to destroy life. We know that innately. Doesn't mean that in a society that we don't obey the laws. We know that we are not bound by the laws because we're simply good as we are, who we are, and what we are. Let's see. Night Watcher says the weakest demon would be the only demon, would be the weakest demon. Let's see, the weakest demon would be the only kind demon, would be the weakest demon. Is that a good plot idea? How to continue this type of plot. You know what? Trust your instincts, Night Watcher, and write it down. Put it all out there. And then you can always edit, you can always change after you get everything out on a piece of paper or on your computer. So what the Tao is asking us, what the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu is asking us to do, trust ourselves, trust our true nature, trust who we are, and don't worry about if we are living a virtuous life. Don't worry if you're a good person. Don't worry if you have to do anything. Just trust who you are. Let's see, Noodle says, I've run to 10 different rabbit holes in like a month. Speaking of rabbits, let yourself go into the rabbit hole, for one thing. Trust that there's a good idea in every rabbit hole, because you can always emerge from it with that good idea and let the other stuff alone. You don't need to take everything with you, but see what it offers. And then go back to the main theme and start over again. Rabbit holes are awesome because it contains something useful. Doesn't mean you have to stay there, though. I'm going to read something that is offered in Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, an interpretation of the Tao Te Ching from St. John of the Cross, because we're speaking of rabbits. And it came up this morning in my reading, and I absolutely love it. This is St. John of the Cross. I was sad one day and went for a walk. I sat in a field. A rabbit noticed my condition and came near. It often does not take more than this to help at times. To just be close to a creature who is so full of knowing, so full of love, that they don't care. They don't chat. They just gaze with their marvelous understanding. Absolutely awesome. That's innocence. That is because the rabbit lives as the Tao because it can't live any other way. It doesn't know anything other than the nature of a rabbit. If we recognize that in ourselves, which is true and always present, then we're living in accordance with the Tao Te Ching. So, guys, that's it for the morning. Let's see. Let's catch up a bit. Night Watcher says, PC building, AI stuff, story, writing, and more. It's good. It's good to be creative. It's good to have ideas. Make sure you write them all down, though. Night Watcher says, you've got 67,876,000 views this past month. Is that good? And 270 subs this past month, 30 days. Let's see, daily average view is 2,200. 10 subs today. Wow. I haven't checked yet. So are those good stats? Views today, 1,858. That's not bad, considering for me it's just 5 o'clock in the morning. So where are you getting that information again? So I have no idea that uh, it all says average for a small channel. Social blade. I want to write that down. So average for a small channel. So as I mentioned before, you guys know um, my intent that I want to make I don't need a whole lot to get by, pay a few bills, pay my taxes, buy some food, have enough left over to buy a book every once in a while. Um, Maybe some new running shoes every couple of months. um, so it's sustainable, it's doable, and it's doable with a small channel. Um, if I do it right, if I put out good stuff, if you guys like my stuff. If you don't like my stuff, um, let me know. Let's see, your channel is a B minus, so B is good. When I get to D's and A and D C's, Night Watcher says goodbye. Curious George says, I never report taxes. I'm 23. Um, well, I have to pay taxes because I own a home, which is good. I inherited a home. I was my father's caregiver, and I get to split it with my brother because I'm sharing the home that both of us inherited with my brother. We live in a high taxed area. I got property taxes, and then I got county taxes, and then I got home insurance. I got to pay all that stuff. But other than that, and utilities, of course. Um, but it gives me an opportunity that if I can make that sustainable living through my own creativity, which is what YouTube offers, that opportunity, um, that it gives me that little bit of freedom. I'm not bound to a job. I'm 59 years old. I lost my business during COVID because I was a caregiver for my father, which I was very fortunate to be, was happy to be. But it puts me in that very unique position right now. I can finally earn a living through my own creativity, which is all I've ever wanted to do. I can earn it through coming here and talking about the things I love talking about. We'll see if I can do it. I have no idea, but I'm surrendering. I'm going to live my life with the faith that life can take care of life. It's a big experiment. Let's see what happens, guys. Curious George says your tax dollars bought Zelensky a wife as a new baguette. I actually don't know what a baguette is. Actually, not so much my tax dollars as the taxes I'm talking about. I'm not really talking about income tax. My tax dollars have gone to the fire department, the police department, for public libraries, for street lights, for traffic lights, for the maintenance of a beautiful, beautiful area that I live in. Public schools, I think I mentioned that. I live in an area that has the best public schools. Now my stepdaughter's 31. She doesn't go to school. However, I'm not concerned about me. I'm concerned with the people that live near me. I'm concerned with everyone, actually, because we're all a reflection of each other. I see what you're saying, my friend. I would love for my income taxes to benefit everyone and not benefit the self-interest of a few. Curious George says, are you near Palestine? Palestine, I don't know where that is. I'm in Maryland, mid-Atlantic area, the state of Maryland, United States. Let's see. Noodle says he likes that name. It is a nice name, Curious George. I grew up with Curious George too. I was just a baby when the first books came out. Curious George says he's in California. So we'll see, guys. As our friend Nightwatcher says, I'm a B- channel, but I've only been monetized for less than a month now. Well, fully monetized. My content's never going to be big. It's never going to be flashy. It's always going to be nature that I see in my neighborhood. It's always going to be conversations like this, where I talk about the Tao Te Ching. I talk about meditation, breath work, yoga. I talk about ways of forgiveness, ways of living a life that is fully based in inspiration and creativity and love, based upon forgiveness, true forgiveness, not the forgiveness that we're taught in any religion. Curious George says, thoughts on caterpillars. I love caterpillars. Here's the thing. Caterpillars are completely satisfied with their own natures, with their own nature of being a caterpillar. They don't need to be a butterfly. However, they have the potentiality of being a butterfly. And when the time is right, through no effort of their own, they awaken to their butterfly nature. You and I, completely content in being who we are, as we should be. We're divine by nature. And at the same time, we have the innate ability to awaken to that divine nature. And we do that when we forgive, when we see the innocence of other people, the innocence of ourselves. I'm not talking about that traditional forgiveness where we look at someone and said, you did something wrong, and I forgive you for it. The forgiveness that I'm talking about, the forgiveness in A Course in Miracles, the mystical tradition of forgiveness, is when we look past the illusion of sin and we see only our true innocence, and we act from there. So that's my thoughts on caterpillars. Noodle says, weirdly, your views have gone up 0% this month. Huh. Here's the secret, guys. This is from the Bhagavad Gita as well as the Tao Te Ching. You are entitled to your actions, but not the fruits of your actions. You surrender your actions. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says you surrender your actions to Krishna. In the Tao, it says you surrender your actions to the Tao. For me, I love the thought of the Tao and Krishna. But surrender your actions to love, which means that you love what you do and you're unconcerned with the outcome. Doesn't mean that you don't have an intent, but it means you know that you can't control the intent. You can only control what you're doing right now. Do it for the sake of love. If you're a writer, if you're a content creator, if you're an artist, if you are an accountant, do it because you love being an accountant. And let the results spring from that action of love and live your life from there. The caterpillar doesn't know it's going to be a butterfly. It just knows that it's a caterpillar. And it goes through life being the very best caterpillar it can possibly be. And the fruit of those actions is in becoming a butterfly. However, if the caterpillar was going through life saying, man, I need to be the best caterpillar I can be in order to be a butterfly, it would be caught up in those actions. It would be limited. It would always get in its own way. Surrender to the freedom of being who you are and let life happen. Social blade, not blaze. Don't want to confuse it, Yogi. It doesn't take much. Sabine says, hi, Eric. Hello, my friend. Runner Boy says, I'm on a bus. So no, now it's not for me. Just saying hi. I appreciate that. Sabine says hi, everyone. Curious George says, do you believe in frequency healing? I do believe in frequency healing. Um, everything's a frequency. Everything is a vibration. Every healing takes place through a vibration. So why can't it happen through a distance? Let's see. Night Watcher says, Sabine and Runaway, what up, dude? And dudettes. So, guys, I got to get outside and start my walk. Appreciate you all stopping by. I'll be back later. I'll be back 1 o'clock my time. If you're around, you got nothing to do, come by and say hi. Let's see. Night Watcher says, you watch movies, Yogi? I do, but it's been a long time since I have. Night Watcher says, bye, Yokester. Yokesterator. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Hey, hit the like button on the way out if you guys don't mind. I appreciate it. And I'll see everyone later. Take care, guys.